liquidity on a legitimate regulated exchange. So if you show me a security that trades $1 billion a day and you have $1 billion of it, I might give you $50 million of collateral value. And that means you could borrow $25 million against it at 50% loan to value, but I'm going to margin call you if it moves a tick. So it means, practically speaking, $1 billion of that legit security is probably going to give you $10 million worth of a loan.
On $1 billion.
On $1 billion.
That's 1%.
Okay, right? Because the gating factor is what's 5% of the trading liquidity of that token or that asset. Because if I have to dump that thing in the market, I want to sell the entire position without moving the price.
Sure.
Okay, so that's the traditional world onshore. What Sam did was generated $14 to $16 billion worth of Solana, FTT, Serum, and then he went shopping for a bank to give him a loan. But he didn't want, you wouldn't get a loan from Goldman Sachs on it. No one's going to borrow you money, at least no non-crypto company. So what he did was he went to himself. He runs a bank called FTX. He applied for a loan from himself. He granted himself the loan.
Applied for a loan from himself.
Well,
right?
secretly applied. He didn't tell anybody, but he when they say, well, Alameda had a margin account and the margin position was slightly bigger than I thought, what he means is, oh yeah, they pledged a few $1 billion of air token, gave themselves a $10 billion loan, and they extracted, even if he had pledged $15 billion worth of air token, giving yourself a $10 billion loan means that you gave yourself about 100x the collateral value you would have got on a regulated exchange onshore. So what he did was, in essence, extract $10 billion of real stuff, dollars, Bitcoin, saleable assets, and he pledged $10 billion worth of air token stuff. And of course, it's a double diabolical thing. Here's the problem. So I create a token, I have 300 million tokens, and then I basically trade it with myself. Like I give it to you and you work for me and you give it back to me. Then I lean on it, so I lever it up 10 to 1. On FTX, you could lever it 20 to 1. Then I borrow your money, you're a depositor, so I take your money, you have $10 million, I lever it up 20 to 1, I have $200 million, I buy my own token, I drive my token up by $5, $5 times 300 million makes me 1.5 billion in collateral. I post the collateral, and then I withdraw $1 billion of 100,000 people's money. I put it in Alameda, and then Alameda gives a $3.5 billion loan to Sam, right? He gave $3.3 billion to either himself or his personal family holding company. So here's the diabolical twist. I didn't just generate $10 billion of an unregistered security to dump it on the unsuspecting retail. That would take me 500 trading days, dumping 20 million a day, right? He didn't do that. What he did is he generated $10 billion in unregistered security and then just borrowed $10 billion secretly from his depositors and then went and gambled it, traded it, spent it, lost it.
How?
And that is it's particularly impressive.
How do you